And welcome back to CTF Walkthroughs. I'm your host, Callie Surfer, and in today's CTF walkthrough, we're going to explore the idea of tab napping or tab nabbing, whatever you prefer to call it. So what is tab nabbing? Well, it's when a malicious actor, they make a replica of a login portal and they host that on their own server, and then they find a way to have an administrator click on a link that will maliciously redirect them to that spoofed or cloned login portal. And when they enter in their credentials, those credentials will be captured by the hacker, and they'll be able to do further enumeration and privilege escalation from there. So in today's scenario, we have a website that allows us to upload a link, and first we'll create two different spoofed files that will assist us in tab nabbing, and we'll wait for the administrator to click on the link, submit their credentials, and we'll capture that on the back end on a PHP listener. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Listen closely.
Okay, so our VPN is up and running. We've already created our directory for this CTF challenge, napping. First, let's register a new user, and we'll just call it test, or hello, and then we'll do test for the password. And then we'll log in, and we'll copy the login.php from the source code and the index.php. So this is our index.php. We'll copy that. And I already pasted it in here. Okay. And let's check the admin portal that we found from some directory busting before I started the video. And we'll copy that one here to our login.php. And now we're going to grab some lines that will help us to send the credentials over to our PHP listener. So we're inserting some PHP code into the login.php file, which has HTML code as well. We'll stick it in right here between the head and body tags. And now we see that when the user or admin types in their username, we'll put the contents of that in a file called creds.txt, and we'll place it on the PHP server, which is our malicious attack box. We're using Parrot OS today. So let's go ahead now and save that. And we'll just check on our login.php, and we'll paste in that login. This is the same as the admin login. So we're just cloning the page and serving it up on our own page here. Okay, and we'll grab this code here as a landing page. When we tab nap, we'll send them to our own login.php. So this is the malicious redirect code here. We'll write and quit. Now we're ready to host these files using a PHP server. We could also do it with a Python server, but here we'll use the syntax sudo php tac uppercase S, and then our IP address with port 80 for the standard web server port. Let's just check and see if it works. We'll put in a link directing the admin to our own box. And we see here a bunch of things happened there. And now we have a Creds file. And we have the Creds already captured here. Daniel is our username, and then we have this long string, caught napping 123. And the only thing that we have left to do is to translate this from URL encoding into plain text, because there was a %40 in there. and that's the same as the plain text @ sign. So this is a way of changing special symbols to URL encoding, which has a limited set of symbols and numbers to represent all of the special symbols. So we'll do that. We'll take this over to our password and see if it works first, and we'll find that it does not work. So next we'll head over to CyberChef, and we'll see what happens when we URL decode this string. Okay, so we're already in here now, and we've got our foothold as Daniel, and we're just editing the query.py file that we found sitting on Adrian's home directory. So we can write on this file or modify because we have privileges due to our group membership in the administrators group. So we can change it to a rev shell. We'll use a simple Python 3 rev shell from revshells.net. And then we'll see if we can cat out the status to .text to see how often this script is running on a cron job. And it looks like it ran once per minute. And what we're trying to do now is catch a rev shell as Adrian so we can do our lateral movement and then further enumeration to find flags. All right, we're back in our query.py, which we changed to a rev shell payload, and I'm updating the path for the Python 3 binary. It was in user bin Python 3. Okay, so we've got our status. We have a Netcat listener up and listening on port quad 4s. And still no connection. Okay, so what can we do here? Well, we're not getting any callback from the Python 3 script, so let's try a bash script, see what happens. We'll just stick this one-liner. This is the most common bash rev shell payload, and we'll create a new file. And I don't believe we can save things in Adrian's directory, so we'll have to move back to our own directory here. We'll put in the shebang line for bash, bin bash. Okay, so now when we go to save this, it probably is going to give us a, yes, can't open file for writing. That's our mistake here. Let's go ahead and quit. We'll have to do Q exclamation point to override the error here. So we're throwing away our edits. Let's see if we can copy it first. We'll quit out of there, overriding the error there. And now let's try again with our payload, bin bash. And we'll put a tac C for command and then single parenthesis or single quotations. And we still can't write it. Not a problem though. We can use two scripts. We'll have the original one just redirect to the rev shell payload that we can save in our own directory. All right, so I'll cut and paste. Let's go. Copy that payload, paste it in, and put, we forgot the double quotes on the end there. Lots of syntax issues this morning. Let's get back into that. cancel that command, and we'll add the double quotes on the end. Double quotes. We'll send that to a shell.sh, permission denied because we still can't write in Adrian's home folder. So let's go over to our own folder, Daniel, and we'll issue that command one more time. Now we have a working shell script. So let's go back into our query.py and we'll update it now. And instead of having a Python 3 rev shell payload right there in the query.py, we're going to redirect to our shell script in our own home directory. We had to do this because we only have write permissions in our home directory, not in Adrian's directory. We only have that one file. Because we're part of the administrators group, we can edit query.py. But we can't create a new file or change other files in his directory. Okay, so we'll delete our Python 3 payload there, and let's add in a redirect script. So we'll use the module OS, so we'll import OS, and then with a one-liner, with Python, we can issue a bash command. os.system. User bin bash, and we want to run the file that we have in Daniel's home folder, shell.sh. So let's go with home /Daniel/shell.sh. And we'll put the apostrophe and close off those parentheses. And that's it. We'll write and quit. And now we wait. Oh, we might have to upload. Actually, no. I think we just wait up to 1 minute, and then we'll catch that rev shell on port quad 4s. Hey, and we just caught it up there. So who am I? We are Adrian. So we just successfully did our lateral movement to the user Adrian. Let's poke around a little bit now. We'll stabilize our shell with this standard command here using pty. And now we get the full user at hostname there, Adrian at napping. pwd, let's find our present working directory. ls is for listing the files. And we can cat out our user flag. So we're 50% done now. Let's just drop that flag into our notes and into TryHackMe. All right, so now for our Privesc, we need to find a way to become the root user so that we can read root.txt and get our final flag. Let's first check out the bash history. See if there are any clues or hints that might help us along the way. And yeah, it's a hidden file, so .bash history. It appears to only be 9 bits, I think it is. So there's nothing in there. I found a .cache file. Not sure what to do with this file here, so let's just go back for now. We can try a sudo tac l. We don't know Daniel's password, but sometimes you can do the sudo tac l command without needing to re-enter the password. And I see now I was on the wrong user there. Let's do this all again with Adrian. So we can do a sudo tac l and we have sudo privs on the vim binary. So right away, we should know that GTFO bins probably will have a one-liner to let us gain persistence with our root commands. And we do when we search vim, look for the different options here. Let's try our sudo. And we'll just try, let's try the first one here. Pretty simple. So vim can issue commands. So we'll just use vim with sudo and we'll issue that command, and we are root. So that was about the easiest Privesc ever. Thanks again to GTFO bins for supplying that one-liner. It just works. So we've got our root flag now. Let's save it in our notes, and we'll drop it over in our TryHackMe. And awesome, we did it. We got the root flag, and that wraps up today's box. This was a medium difficulty box on TryHackMe. If you want to see more full-length CTF walkthroughs, be sure to check out my YouTube channel and subscribe for many more CTF walkthroughs and other videos in hot topics in ethical hacking and pen testing. So that's it for today. Catch you next time. Bye.